G'day, it's Nicola here with a book review for you today. It's called The Voice Inside. It's a best-selling biography of Australia's much-loved music legend, John Farnham. The show today is brought to you thanks to the Forever Young Autobiographies membership, which brings together training, coaching and community. And I'll have a free trial for you at the end of the show. Now, this book is been written by, obviously, Farnham, but also it's been written with Poppy Stockell. And it's a really remarkable story that's not just about finding fame, but the resilience to be yourself, your true self. It's been put out by Hachette Australia and it has become a huge bestseller, picking up 3 Australian Book Industry Awards, including Best Biography Book of the Year. So in the show, I'm going to go over a little bit about what the book's about, what I found interesting as a reader, and things we can take away for our own life story creating. So let's jump in. The book is 368 pages and it begins in London, England, after World War II, just slightly after. And Farnham and his family then emigrate to Melbourne, Australia, and I think when he's in about primary school. So they come over here as what's known affectionately as £10 Poms, paid 10 quid to catch the boat over. And he's got a lot of family here already, and they really do sing and play a lot. And his uncle Alf gives him a guitar. And before long, Farnham is being invited to kids' parties to perform. He's invited to join a band, and soon he has his own manager. From there, in the 1960s, he gets teen stardom with the song Sadie, the cleaning lady. He meets his dancer wife, Gillian, and then he goes on to tour with the famous Little River Band in the US, and then puts out Australia's highest selling album, Whispering Jack. And then the book comes to an end where we catch up with Farnham. He is recovering from mouth cancer and is on this road to recovery. So that's the book in a nutshell. But what's interesting, there's a few things when I was reading it. First of all, really is in the music industry, there's chalk and cheese between a good and a bad manager. My goodness, the first one Farnham said he believed drugged him so he could still have this, artificial energy to perform. Whereas another manager, he put all this money towards Farnham to get this album Whispering Jack produced, which is a huge amount of money, but it really, really paid off. Just such authentic backing his talent. So that was really obvious. Another interesting thing we learn is that Farnham, he went out and did a bit of entrepreneurialism, bought a restaurant, but that failed and he almost went bankrupt. So that was kind of interesting, the way that he regained his confidence and went back out on performing. The third thing that was interesting reading was I did not know that as a singer that you bought songs, and that obviously the more popular you are as a singer, you get the first dibs on the songs. And it's the same with countries. So back in those days, a lot of the songs were coming from England. And so if you're an Australian artist, let alone an unknown one, what filtered through to Australia was almost like the dregs. What was left, you could take your pickings. And so Farnham was really lucky to get a hit song, Sadie, that really catapulted him to stardom. But the most important part of this show, what tips can we take away from this wonderful biography? Well, first, in the book, there's a number of chapters written by Farnham's wife, Jill, and I think this is really great. It's kind of like a couple he's written the book and she's got a couple of sections in there giving not just her take on the events, but also her opinion and her opinion of Farnham and his character. So it's really refreshing to get a different point of view. And this can be something you can consider too if you've got a partner. Like, you might want to just have your say, or you might want to ask someone if they'd like to have a guest chapter or 2 in yours. So that was really interesting and well done. I suggest you take a look at how Jill's written. But also the book has a wonderful, really huge amount of memorabilia and ticket stubs and posters and photos scattered throughout this book. It's almost like a scrapbook in parts, like inside the covers, there's all the tickets. And then it's not just within a picture section, but it's scattered all the way through. And, you know, there is a illustrative version as well of the book. So that's done really well. I highly recommend you take a look if you're into maybe including some memorabilia in your life story. But finally, I think the biggest takeaway for us as life story creators is that Farnham really wasn't equipped to write a book at all. He was quite scared of it. He'd never written a book. He was a musician. He could sing. Don't ask me to write anything. But here he is coming out with a bestseller, winning awards. And he had that confidence with Poppy Stockell to sit down and have chats and record those interviews and turn them into a book. So really just feeling the fear and giving it a shot anyway. So that's my book review for you today of a multi-Australian Book Industry Award winner, The Voice Inside. And I've given an overview of what the book's about, things that are interesting and tips we can take away for our own creative projects. But I really hope when you sit down and read this book, as Farnham says, to try to stay positive no matter what comes at you in life. He had his ups and downs and he still kept keeping on. So that's a really important message from The Voice Inside. But this show is just a small snippet of a larger article I have about this. Over at my website, go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/The Voice Inside. You can see the cover of the book. There's a photo of Farnham performing. There's some quotes and also links to buy the book and some resources I have that may help you with your own creating. So please go and check it out. And while you're there or while you're here, I'd love to know, did you have a hobby during your childhood? Like obviously Farnham loved playing the guitar. He said he used to always be singing or humming or whistling, driving everyone crazy. But did you have a hobby? I'd love to hear it. Please share in the comments or go over to my website. Leave me a comment at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/contact. Now, before I go, I mentioned the Forever Young Autobiographies membership. So this is really new. We've got everything on there that can help you with interviews to printed books. So I also offer you tools. There's live coaching communities where you can pop in questions and get them answered. You can get your first month for free. So go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/membership. Now, it'd be fantastic if you could follow, subscribe, and like the show. And until next time, happy life story creating.